under the neon lights. The humidity clung to the air in downtown Austin, Texas, as the neon signs flickered to life, casting vibrant hues across the sidewalk. At the center of it all was Ava Sinclair, a single mother dancing her heart out. The music pulsed through the dimly lit venue, and as she moved, she let the rhythm take control, forgetting for a moment the weight of the world outside. Each beat was a release, a temporary escape from the turmoil that life had recently thrown her way. Feeling that girl on fire vibe tonight? Ava exclaimed, a cheeky smile lighting up her face as she twirled, her long hair flowing around her. She spotted her date for the night, Riley Finch, a devoted nurse whose compassion melted Ava's heart. Riley's infectious laughter rang out from the bar, and Ava was drawn in like a moth to a flame. Another round? Riley called, her voice cutting through the music. Her hands were busy mixing 2 cocktails, and her bright eyes flashed with excitement. It had been exactly 67 days of dating, and with each passing moment, Ava felt a flicker of hope. Sure. Make it a double, might need it tonight. Ava winked back, feeling a rush of gratitude for this connection with Riley. For the first time in a long while, laughter came easily as they celebrated life on the dance floor. The bartender leaned over, flashing a smile as she set down the drinks. Cheers to you lovely ladies. Cheers, they echoed, clinking their glasses and taking hearty sips. Ava could hardly believe how different life felt in this moment, away from the stress of raising her 10-year-old daughter, Mia, alone. With Riley by her side, there was a lightness to her heart she hadn't known she missed. As the next song came on, a slow, sultry ballad, Ava and Riley swayed, their bodies moving naturally as they shared whispered secrets. Ava found herself leaning closer, the warmth of Riley's breath sending flutters through her. Okay, I have to ask, Ava began, playful mischief in her tone, what's your favorite karaoke song? Riley grinned, her cheeks flushing lightly. Oh, that's easy. Total Eclipse of the Heart, Guilty Pleasure Alert. Ava chuckled, you're in for a duet one of these nights. But as they swayed, the moment shifted. The flickering lights and laughter faded beneath a wave of discomfort flooding Ava's mind. In the past months, the flicker of worry had turned into a roaring flame, she felt it in her chest now, her heartbeat pounding a rhythm of uncertainty. Hey, are you okay? Riley asked softly, her fingers brushing against Ava's back in concern. Ava hesitated, forcing a smile. Yeah, just a lot on my mind. Riley's gaze searched Ava's, her kind brown eyes imploring. You know you can share anything with me. Before Ava could respond, the restroom door swung open, and a woman with a tight bun and a stethoscope around her neck walked out. She offered a brief nod to Ava and Riley, and in that moment, Ava felt a jolt of recognition, a reminder of why she had come to escape tonight. Let's get out of here, Ava suggested, attempting to compartmentalize the anxiety ricocheting through her. We can catch our breath outside. The cool night air wrapped around them as they stepped out onto the sidewalk, the world around them illuminated by 1,000 colorful lights. Ava leaned against a wall, grateful for the break from the thrumming noise of the bar. Seriously, what's going on? You seem distant, Riley pressed, her voice gentle but firm. Ava sighed deeply, resting her head against the cool concrete. I don't want to bring the mood down, but I got a call from my doctor today. The revelation hung heavy in the air, and Ava felt Riley's presence tighten in concern. What did they say? With a heavy heart, Ava continued. I found a lump a while back, and it's been a whirlwind of tests and scans. They want to schedule a biopsy to see if it's cancer. Riley's expression softened as she reached for Ava's hand, gripping it tightly. Ava, I'm so sorry. You're going through so much, I can't imagine what you're feeling. Ava swallowed hard, the lump in her throat threatening to spill tears. I've been keeping it from you. I wanted tonight to be about fun, about us. But I can't help feeling like I'm on the edge of chaos. Riley stepped closer, their lined hands feeling more like a lifeline in that moment. We'll tackle this together, okay? You're not alone in this. We can handle whatever comes next. Ava looked up, the compassion in Riley's eyes bridging the chasm of fear and uncertainty. I want to believe that. I wish I could believe that. Forcing a smile, Riley said, you don't have to be strong all the time. It's okay to lean on me. Just let me in, and together we'll scream from the rooftop. With a chuckle, Ava finally felt the tension begin to dissipate, even if just a little. That sounds like a plan. When I get through this, I'm gonna blast Stronger by Kelly Clarkson and make the whole neighborhood hear me. The pair stood together on the street, comforted not by the idea of finding all the answers but by the realization that they could face the unknown side by side. They returned to the bar, laughter weaving among the notes of music as they shared another round, laughter lifting their spirits higher. The following days became a mosaic of appointments, tests, and tender moments. Ava had never felt so vulnerable, yet with Riley's steady presence, she also experienced a surge of hope. The mixed emotions became a rhythm as they spent time in the sweet embrace of each other's company, whether cooking dinner, binge-watching TV shows, or creating art with Mia. As the date of the biopsy approached, Ava made a decision to cut her long hair short, opting for a stylish bob she could manage without fuss. In the living room, while Mia colored at the table, she went for it, scissors in one hand and determination in the other. Riley entered, gasping at the transformation. Wow! You look amazing, Ava. The hair, it suits you. Mia nodded enthusiastically, her small hands covered in crayon marks. Yeah, Mommy. You're like a superhero now. Ava laughed, buoyed by their support. Superhero 1 minute, damsel in distress the next. But tonight, we're having a superhero picnic in the living room. They sprawled out on blankets, sharing popcorn, laughter, and stories of all their favorite heroes until the sun dipped low in the horizon. As Mia drifted off to sleep, Ava felt the day ebbing peacefully. But deep inside, a storm raged still. It was the very uncertainty of life that gnawed at her, reminders of those who had fought similar battles, connections to loss and loneliness. Yet with Riley, she also felt a spark of rebirth, a promise that there was still life and love waiting, even amidst the fear. As the night deepened, Ava stood by the window, the city glittering beyond, the thought of what lay ahead still daunting but somehow more bearable. Leaning against the cool glass, she felt Riley's warm presence slip around her waist, a comforting reminder that she wasn't navigating these turbulent waters alone. Whatever happens, Riley murmured against her shoulder, you have a whole team rooting for you. You're stronger than you realize. Together, we'll face it. Just the three of us, Ava said softly, her heart swelling with gratitude. And as they gazed out into the darkness, filled with the glittering promise of stars, Ava let the worries slip away, ready to embrace whatever came next. After all, the journey ahead, with its uncertainty and chaos, also held the possibility of deeper connections, love, and laughter, a new chapter just waiting to unfold, under the neon lights of life. The day of Ava's biopsy rolled around more quickly than she had anticipated. After a night filled with fitful sleep, haunted by apprehensions of the unknown, she awoke to the sun streaming through the curtains, casting soft patterns across the living room. The patchwork of blankets from the previous night lay strewn across the floor, a testament to the playful chaos that Mia loved to create. Ava's heart warmed as she watched her daughter, still fast asleep, her small face peaceful, a contrast to the storm brewing in Ava's mind. Rise and shine, superstar. Riley sang playfully as she tiptoed into the room, her presence a gentle reminder of the love that enveloped them. Ava smiled weakly, the weight of the day pressing down like a heavy blanket. I guess it's showtime. Riley knelt beside Ava, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. You're going to be amazing, she said, her eyes sparkling with encouragement. And remember, I'll be right there waiting when you wake up. Promise? Despite herself, Ava felt a lump form in her throat. The love she felt for Riley was profound, but the fear of what lay ahead threatened to overshadow it. "Promise," Riley replied, leaning in and kissing Ava softly on the cheek. It was a small gesture, but one that sent warmth spreading through her, as if Riley had wrapped an invisible blanket around her heart. Mia began to stir, rubbing her eyes and yawning adorably. "Mommy," she mumbled, sleep still clinging to her voice. "Hey, sweet girl," Ava said, kneeling down to give her daughter a good morning hug. "Are you ready for a day full of adventures?" "What kind of adventures?" Mia asked, her curiosity piqued as she stretched her tiny limbs. "Well, after lunch, I'll be going to the doctor, and then you and Riley get to plan a super cool princess party right here." Ava smiled, attempting to distract her from the undertones of worry building in her chest. Mia's face lit up. "A princess party? Yay! Can we have cake? And balloons? And glitter?" "Yes, yes, and yes." Riley chimed in, her spirits infectious. "All the glitter you can handle. It's going to be fabulous." As they shared breakfast together, a flurry of toast, jam, and laughter, it felt like a slice of normalcy wrapping around them like a comfort blanket. For a while, the anxiety of surgery faded into the background, replaced by plans for party decorations and cake flavors. Eventually, it was time to leave. Ava looked in the mirror, taking a moment to breathe deeply. With her heart racing, she grasped the edges of the sink, trying to ground herself. "You've been through worse," she reminded her reflection. "You can do this." The drive to the hospital was filled with chatter about Mia's party plans, with Riley providing enthusiastic commentary at every stoplight. However, Ava caught glimpses of Mia's concerned expression in the rearview mirror. Though she longed to shield her from the truth, she knew Mia's perceptiveness couldn't be underestimated. At the hospital, they entered the sterile environment that would soon be the setting of the next chapter in Ava's life. The hallways echoed with voices, the scent of antiseptic hung heavily in the air, and time felt warped, lost in the limbo between anticipation and dread. "Let's get you checked in," Riley said, squeezing Ava's hand encouragingly. "And I promise, once this is over, we will celebrate." Ava nodded, grateful for Riley's support. "Thank you for being here. For everything." They proceeded to the waiting area, filled with muted chatter and worried expressions. Ava's heart raced as she met the gaze of another patient, a woman who was clearly waiting for news. She felt a strange kinship, they were all gathered, their lives intertwined in a web of uncertainty. After what felt like an eternity, they called Ava's name, and she stood, a mixture of nerves and resolve flooding her body. Riley followed closely, her presence a steadying anchor. As they entered the brightly lit surgical prep room, a nurse greeted them with a warm smile. "Hi there. We'll take good care of you," she said. "Let's get you settled in." Ava climbed onto the gurney and took a deep breath as the nurse swabbed her arm for and for. Riley stayed close, her eyes holding Ava's like a calm in the storm. "I can't believe how brave you are," Riley said, her voice low and tender. "I admire that in you." "Bravery feels a lot like fear wrapped in a pretty bow," Ava said, managing a weak smile. "But I'll take all the admiration I can get." As the doctors entered and began to go through the routine questions, Ava felt herself slipping into autopilot. She tried to focus on the reassuring words they offered, on the cadence of their voices, but in the back of her mind loomed an unsettling question: what if the news was bad? Then came the moment they had all been waiting for. The anesthesiologist approached, explaining the process. Ava nodded, understanding the words but feeling slightly detached from the reality of it all. "Just a few more moments, and you'll be in dreamland," she said, her voice soothing. As they prepared to start, Ava squeezed Riley's hand one last time, hoping to draw strength from their connection. "See you on the other side," Ava murmured, blinking back tears. With sleepy eyes, Ava felt herself drifting away, the world fading into the background as darkness enveloped her. When Ava finally reawakened, reality settled back in with a harsh clarity. She blinked against the bright lights above, her surroundings coming into focus slowly. A familiar voice broke through the haze. "You did it, Ava. You're back." Riley sounded brighter than the sun, full of warmth and relief. As Ava's vision cleared, she saw Riley and Mia sitting by her side, their faces painted with joy. "Mommy!" Mia exclaimed, her little hands grabbing Ava's weakly. "You're okay." "Tired, love," Ava replied, her voice scratchy. "But okay." Riley took Ava's hand and squeezed tightly. "You were so brave. They said everything went well. Your doctors will be in shortly to discuss the next steps." The news sank into Ava's heart like a bomb, soothing the electric anxiety that had been thrumming there. "What's next?" Riley knelt closer, her eyes steady and hopeful. "We celebrate your strength, once you're feeling better. And remember, we're in this together. Whatever happens, I'll be right by your side." The gesture warmed Ava's heart, igniting a flicker of hope amidst the uncertainty. "I don't know what I'd do without you." Mia, her big eyes shining with innocence, chimed in. "Yeah. And we're gonna throw a super-duper princess party as soon as you're strong enough. With cake and glitter." Ava laughed softly, the sound mixing with the beeping machines around her. "Now that sounds like something to look forward to." As they shared tales of the party plans, balloons, tiaras, and most importantly, how much glitter they would use, Ava realized that life, while sometimes cruel and unpredictable, still held glimmers of beauty and joy. Days turned into weeks, filled with follow-up appointments and treatment plans, but through it all, Ava drew strength from the love surrounding her. Riley's support was unwavering, with every encouraging word, every shared laugh, they bonded deeper. Mia thrived in their newfound family dynamic, her giggles filling the apartment with brightness, turning the heavy moments into ones of light. They painted together, danced in the living room, and each evening, they made plans for the most extravagant princess party they could imagine. As Ava stood in the kitchen one afternoon, stirring ingredients for another power smoothie, she caught a glimpse of Riley and Mia decorating the living room. "Sparkles for the Sparkle Princesses." Mia squealed, tossing glitter across the floor with wild abandon. "Aim for the wall, kiddo." Riley called out, laughter lacing her words. Ava smiled, overwhelmed with warmth as she witnessed the joy unfolding before her. In the midst of uncertainty, here was the love and laughter that made the journey worthwhile. It was like painting bright strokes across the canvas of life, 1 minute at a time. In that moment, Ava understood that some storms don't have to destroy, they can make way for something beautiful. Life could be messy and unpredictable, but with a little love, as they formed a makeshift family, she could weather anything. The days rolled on, and they welcomed challenges with open arms, navigating the complexity of their life together. They discussed dreams and faced fears, with the promise of new beginnings glimmering like the neon lights of that club where everything had changed. Life was an adventure, and in the arms of her newfound family, Ava was ready to live it fully, one glittering moment at a time. Weeks passed, marked by doctor's appointments, treatment schedules, and the anticipation of Mia's glitter-filled princess party. Ava had embraced every day with a sense of determination that surprised even her. Though fatigue sometimes clung to her like shadow, it was the laughter and love of Riley and Mia that fueled her spirit, allowing her to face each morning with a renewed sense of purpose. One sunny Saturday, they gathered supplies for the princess party. Pinks, purples, and golds streamed through the aisles of the party supply store. Mia bounded from one aisle to another, clutching colorful streamers like a knight wielding a sword. "Look, Mommy! Can we use this for the backdrop?" she exclaimed, holding up a shimmering, sparkling curtain. "That's perfect, Kiki." Ava replied, affectionately using Mia's nickname. "Just what we need for our princess throne." As Mia dashed off again, Ava felt a hand on her back, Riley, gentle and supportive, strolling beside her. "Your energy is really shining today," Riley observed, her eyes bright. "I know the treatment has been rough, but you seem like you're on fire." Ava laughed lightly, the buoyancy of joy washing over her. "Maybe I'm just getting used to being a super mom. At least that's what Mia thinks." Riley grinned. "Well, she's got the right idea. You are superhero material, just look at how you're tackling everything head-on." "Thanks. I guess I'm just trying to make the most of every moment," Ava admitted, her tone growing more reflective. "But it's a bit surreal, you know. One day I'm having fun dancing at a bar, and the next I'm suddenly thrust into this new life, facing cancer and being a mom all at once." Riley nodded thoughtfully. "That's life for you. It can flip like a switch, but that just makes what you do now even more meaningful. You're teaching Mia how to be strong, how to face life's challenges with grace. And you're not alone in this." The warmth of Riley's support wrapped around Ava, soothing the lingering fears of isolation that occasionally seeped into her thoughts. "I know it's deeply personal, but I really appreciate you doing this with me. It's not always easy, but you're making it so much better." Ava's eyes sparkled with gratitude, recalling the moments of support Riley had offered during the tough times, those late-night conversations that ended with tears and laughter. The connection they shared had blossomed into something beautiful amidst hardship. "Whatever comes next, we'll face it together," Riley promised, eyes shimmering with sincerity. The day of Mia's princess party finally arrived. Excitement filled the air as glitter and decorations enlivened the apartment. Ava and Riley had worked tirelessly to transform their space into a magical wonderland that Mia had always dreamed of. As Ava put the finishing touches on a delicious cake decorated with pink frosting and edible glitter, she looked around and found a sense of fulfillment. The soft sounds of Mia's laughter and Riley's encouragement were an orchestra of love that filled her heart. "Mommy! It's time!" Mia squealed, her voice buoyant with joy. "Can we have the party now?" "Just a second, fairy princess," Ava called, wiping her hands on a towel and running back to the living room. "Are you all ready for your big debut?" When Mia entered, wearing a sparkly crown and a pink dress, her eyes lit up at the scene before her. The room was aglow with colorful decorations, balloons bobbing in midair, and a table laid out with all her favorite treats. Mia's face was priceless, her grin beamed like the sun. "It's beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you." Ava couldn't help but smile, watching her daughter twirl in delight. "All for you, my love. You're the princess of the day." Every detail fell into place as friends began to arrive, giggling and chattering excitedly. The laughter echoed through the small apartment, and for the first time in a long while, Ava felt a sense of normalcy envelop her. It was a celebration of life, love, and the joy of being surrounded by those who cared. As the party unfolded, Ava took a moment to sneak a glance at her daughter, who was surrounded by her little friends, their giggles filling the air. A piece of her heart soared. Cancer had tried to dim her light, but today was a reminder that hope shimmered in the most unexpected places. "Let's play musical chairs," Riley suggested, rallying the children into a game. Ava joined in, clapping along to the music and cheering for everyone, while feeling light and full of joy. The laughter echoed throughout the apartment, mixing with the bubbling happiness of the children. It felt like a balm for the soul, easing the shadows that had cast doubt over their lives. "Mommy, look at me!" Mia called out, running up to Ava with twinkling eyes. "I'm dancing like a princess." Ava laughed, her heart swelling with love. She swept Mia into her arms, spinning her around as Mia squealed with delight. It was a moment that would forever be etched in her memory, a snapshot of pure joy amidst the chaos that life had thrown her way. When the cake was finally served, everyone gathered around, and all the children's eyes widened at the sight of the colorful frosting. As they sang, "Happy Birthday," to the princess, Mia beaming from ear to ear, Ava felt the warmth of love envelop them. It was better than any treatment, any medicine. When the cake was cut and the giggles resumed, Ava noticed Riley watching her with an affectionate smile. "Dance break?" Riley asked, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Ava's heart fluttered with excitement. Definitely. Let's show these kids how it's done. They pulled the children onto the tiny dance floor, swaying to the tunes of pop music, laughter rising like a tide. The rhythm filled the room, and Ava felt her worries ebb away with each step. This was healing. This was love. As the party wore on and guests started to trickle out, Ava caught a moment of quiet with Riley, who was busy cleaning up the remnants of the cake. Thank you for today. You really made it special, everything I hoped it would be, Ava said softly, her eyes glistening with emotion. Riley smiled, brushing her hand against Ava's cheek. It was my pleasure. Watching you and Mia created memories that matter. And you deserve all of this happiness, you know that, right? I'm starting to believe it, Ava replied, her heart full as she glanced back toward Mia, who was thoroughly exhausted and now curled up on the couch, the remnants of frosting adorning her cheeks. As the day wound down and Ava tucked Mia into bed, she felt a renewed sense of hope for the future. She would take things one day at a time. There would be challenges ahead, more tests, and uncertainty, but moments like this reminded her of the power of love, family, and joy. Later that night, as she settled on the couch beside Riley, a sense of calm washed over her. They chatted about the party, shared their thoughts, and laughter danced in the air as they reminisced. Tell me, what's the plan for the next party? Riley joked, nudging Ava playfully. Ava grinned. How about a Survivor theme? We can have challenges and contests. Glamping in the living room. Riley chuckled heartily. I'm all in, bring on the adventures. As their laughter echoed in the warmth of the apartment, Ava felt ready to face whatever came next. They were building a family, creating memories, and healing through laughter and love. As the stars twinkled outside and the city hummed to life, Ava nestled deeper into the comfort of the couch, holding tightly to both Riley and the hope that shimmered in the air. They were together, they were strong, and no matter the storm, they would dance through it all, one day at a time, forever in the neon glow of life.